Dave with Caliber Equipment. Congratulations on your new floor scrubber. What I'm going to do is take a couple minutes and just walk you through the operation of the machine, the basic maintenance, and kind of show you how everything works. As with all power equipment, before you operate it, it's important to read the owner's manual, make sure you're familiar with not only the operation but the safety tips that are in the manual. This is a battery powered machine, works on deep cycle wet acid batteries, and as I said, it's important that you review the owner's manual on it. This particular model that we have showing you here today that Caliber Equipment offers has AGM, which are maintenance free batteries, something that will save you a lot of time and money in the long run. So these batteries are sealed, so you don't have to worry about filling them up with water. Basically, you have two separate tanks. The front of the machine here, pull the cap off, there's a screen inside. This is where you're going to put your solution and the proper amount of your cleaning detergent. The middle of the machine here is the dirty tank. So the dirty water that's sucked up is going to be pumped down into this tank. It's big open so I can get in there and clean it out. That's a key on any automatic scrubbers. Each time you're done, you need to get that dirty water rinsed out, flushed out, and then when you're not using it, leave the lid off so we can let the air come out. One of the features on this particular machine is it's got a float ball system in here and a foam piece that keeps any kind of moisture and dust from getting into the vac motor. Inside of this cup there's a float ball, so when the dirty water gets to a certain point, it's going to lift the ball up, block any moisture going to the vac motor, and turn it off automatically, knowing that you have to dump it out. That seals up on there. As I said, this particular model is available in both a scrub brush for doing hard surface concrete, or if you're doing finished floors, marble, terrazzo, VCT, it is available in a pad driver, so you can put whatever type of pad you'd like on it. To simply load this machine by sliding it up underneath, you'll see there's three lugs, we call them. They're going to mount up underneath the machine when I lower it down, and when I turn it on, it'll lock it in. You also notice that there's rollers on the right side, and the head is offset. When I'm scrubbing close to walls, I always want to do it on the right side so I don't damage the machine or the walls. The head sits over to let me get a little bit closer without hitting into the machine. Right now it's tipped back. That way I can transport it very simply, rolling it back and forth, and as you see, the brush head's off the floor and the squeegee is not touching. So it's real simple to maneuver the machine from filling it up till I move it to where I'm going to operate it. As I roll it up, and if I'm going to put my pad driver or the brush, just simply lower this down until you feel it drop in. And then when I turn it on, you're going to see how it locks in place. Here in the back of the machine, a couple things you want to look at. We have a rubber squeegee. That, of course, is what's going to be drying the floor. Got a vacuum hose here. All squeegees have a front and a rear blade. This band can easily be popped off, and over time when the rubber wears, I can flip it over because I have four edges. Refer to your owner's manual. That's how you get the most life out of your rubber and get a dry floor. The key to a dry floor is having a sharp edge on this back rubber. The vacuum is there to pick it up. But as this wears, it's not going to dry the floor as well, so I just simply flip it over. You have two adjustment nuts that hold it on the machine. This is a breakaway design, so in the event this gets hooked, we want it to come off the machine. Also, the charger is on board. It's built inside of the machine. Your 110 power cord is attached here, so when it's time to charge it, I just plug that into any regular wall outlet. The charger automatically turns on. There is a reset breaker here, so in case something overloads, it's going to pop the breaker. And again, refer to your owner's manual. Before you reset it, we need to see why. Last thing on the back is your dump hose. This is the drain hose so that when you're done to dump out the dirty water, take the cap off, lower it down, and the gravity is going to pour the water out of the machine. Last thing on the back, you do have a tube here on the side. That way you can tell how much clean water's in it. Again, we're filling it up in the front, and as it fills up, it'll tell you how much clean water is in this clean tank. The operation on the machine is very simple. We've got three simple toggle switches. One turns on the power, the second one turns on the vacuum motor to dry, and the third switch is going to open up a valve so water comes out when the machine is scrubbing. And then we have two separate touch pads here. which when I'm ready to scrub is going to turn on the brushes. So when I'm ready to scrub, we put the brush underneath, turn on the power. We can see I've got my battery indicator here. Tells me how much is in the battery. There's an hour meter built in. And before I turn on the vac motor in the water, if I squeeze this, it locks it in place. When I let go, it stops turning. As you can see, I can tip it back, and now I've locked in the pad. Drop it back down. When I'm ready to scrub, simply drop that squeegee down, turn on the second, which is the vacuum, third is the water, and when I squeeze the handle, the brush assist helps pull the machine along, so I'm scrubbing, putting down solution, and I'm drying. There is a delay built in, so when I turn off the vacuum, it's still wet under the machine, so I want to keep moving along. That way I can finish drying the floor, otherwise you're going to leave a puddle underneath it. Now if you just need to pick up a little bit of water that's left over, I can do that by simply turning it back, turn on the vacuum, drop the squeegee, and now I can just slide it along and pick up any water that I might have missed. And then when I'm done, simply raise up the squeegee, lean it back for easy transport, and take it to the dump station where I can dump out the dirty water. And as I said, I can rinse out the dirty tank very simply. A couple other features on this machine is they made it very simple for you to operate and to maintain it. First of all, up front where there's a marking, this does have an inline solution filter. It's important to periodically check the filter. It's just a screw off up underneath the back of the deck here. Over time, the type of water or detergent you use, it could create some residue. The filter is going to catch it before it goes down to the brushes. So if you're not getting good water flow, that's the first thing I want to look at, is check that filter. And again, there's instructions in the owner's manual. Second is there is a solution control valve right here. So depending on the more absorbent the floor is, the more dirt, we need to put down more soap and water. On a very tight floor, you don't need a lot of solution. I can then adjust the flow rate by simply moving this valve up or down, and it tells you if you're going wide open, halfway, or very little water. Simple way to control and have it preset so you're not wasting chemical and water. The last thing over here, if at any time I need to dump out the water that's in my tank, my clean tank, maybe I'm changing solution, up underneath here there's a simple screw off cap, and by unscrewing that I can then dump everything out of my clean tank very easily and then fill it back up with a different solution if that's what I need to do. Any questions or more information? Give us a call. Caliber Equipment, CaliberEquipment.com, or our phone number is 888-550-0945. Thanks a lot.